Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 121, The Message from the Hero. It's good that we jumped on the turtle, but, Naofumi, the ground is shaking. More specifically, the spirit turtle's whole body is shaking. But its head can't stretch far enough to look at its back. I don't think it can concentrate on its shell. I check my surroundings. The place we landed is quite close to the ruined city. The buildings give off a Chinese sort of feeling. Possible because of the Chinese legend that the spirit turtle carried the city of immortals on its back. Phiro, can you sense where the army is? Naofumi. NN. Probably, that way. Phiro. Phiro points to the mountain range outside of the city. That direction is towards the back of the turtle, so she's probably correct. For now, let's leave the city and meet up. Naofumi. Yes. Phiro. I get on Phiro, and she runs towards the mountains. There are quite a few corpses littered around the ruined city. It seems the cause of death is attacks from the spirit turtle's familiars. The cause of all of this is those three idiotic heroes. Why would they do such a thing? The putrid smell of rotting bodies is making me feel sick. Master, please hold Phiro tightly. Phiro. Sure. Naofumi. Phiro runs while kicking familiars that look like gorillas and yetis. Along the way, familiars that looked like floating eyeballs and bats also appeared. These ones seem to be more powerful than the others. But none of them are a match for the speeding blur that is Phiro. We still have yet to get out of the city. For a while, I have been seeing nothing but carcasses. As I think this, I see the shadow of a person. I wonder if it is one of the army soldiers. But it is definitely a corpse. The dead bodies on the turtle's back have begun to move. Even after death, his body is being controlled by something. Something like that. Naofumi. I've only ever seen zombies in games. In reality, fighting them while looking at their decrepit faces is quite mortifying. The only undead I have ever encountered before was skeletons. Apparently, finding undead monsters that still had flesh is quite rare. There's no way I can fight these. A child zombie appears and Phiro is unable to kick. Let's avoid it. Naofumi. Even though Phiro will happily eat most humanoid monsters, even she cannot bring herself to fight a child. I'm sorry, Master, Phiro. With amazing leg power, Phiro jumps out of the swarm of zombies that had begun to form. If they were doomed to have such a fate after death, it would have been better if they had been hit by the turtle's lightning and been obliterated without leaving a trace. But I'm just stating my opinion here. That girl looked a bit like Melty, Phiro. Melty is in the castle, but Phiro's imagination is running wild. I couldn't see anything in that child that looked like Melty. Why would this turtle make that child do such a thing? Phiro. Phiro looks down at the ground. That's right. I can't seem to see the turtle's goal. It's not eating anything, it's just going around and killing as many things as it can. As if killing in itself was its goal. We need to hurry to Onichan. Phiro. Yeah. Naofumi. I see a building that looks like a temple. The architecture is not of Eastern origin. It looks like a Greek temple from my world. In a game, a building like this would usually contain a useful clue or key item. Please stop by that building. Naofumi. Yes, Phiro. I carefully peer inside. Perhaps due to the turtle's walking, the temple is half collapsed. Is this the statue that the other heroes supposedly destroyed in here? I search the temple but cannot find any artifact with a relation to the turtle. I should have probably gotten more information from the queen. It seems that I am wasting my time. This is Naofumi. On a mural on the wall, I see some writing. It's in Japanese. What is this, Naofumi? If anyone is once again summoned here from Japan, if you are reading this, please, this monster was SE, but the 7-eye seal will probably, EK someday. From what we learned, his purpose is and to protect this world's. I pray that the blue sand and the seal never breaks. Though having more victims may benefit this world. Looking back, we have paid a large price by sealing this monster. But, greed. If you read these letters, for the living in this world, defeat monster. Way to defeat it is. And then use the 8, courage. Kiyaki. TL, the hero's name, I don't know the exact pronunciation. TL, by the way, this was really a pain, I can't really help you decipher this. The writing is faded and scratched out, so it is difficult to read. But I can pretty much guess what is written by context. Something like the seal we placed will someday break. The dragon hourglass will turn blue and display a warning. However, the turtle's objective and the ever so important sealing procedure are illegible. More victims may benefit the world? Even though this was left by a hero, I cannot make sense of it. And this isn't an anime or a manga. Why is only the most important information omitted? This writing seems to be very old, so I can't really complain to anyone. The only piece of info I really got was the person's name, Kiyaki. I don't know his last name, but there was definitely a hero of that name. Apart from the cracks caused by the turtles walking, this was already an old piece of writing. There isn't much else I can learn from this. There's a high possibility he comes from a different Japan than me. I don't know how long ago this mural was painted, and I'm not sure that this world even records its history accurately. But thinking about this won't really help anything. Is the number 8 connected to something? I can't read any of the text around it. Can Master read this? Fyro. Yeah, sort of. Naofumi. These letters are a little weird. Fyro. Yes, these are not letters used in Melromark. Naofumi. By the way, it seems that the countries around here all have different languages and writing systems. The shield acts as a translator, so I can probably manage with the language barrier, but as for writing, there doesn't seem to be anything else of interest. We should be on our way. Naofumi. Yeah. Fyro. We leave the temple and continue towards the mountain. It will be difficult to locate Raphatalia and the others. Naofumi. We enter the mountain range and continue heading towards the turtle's rear. It looked like a rocky mountain from afar, but the base of the mountains are surrounded by dense forests. It will be difficult to find the army squadron. From what I know, the legends say that there is a cave that leads into the turtle somewhere around here, so the army is probably searching for a cave as well. There is also a possibility the entrance was somewhere in that village. And where are the other heroes, anyways? They could be inside the turtle fighting, but they could just as easily be lost searching for the entrance on top. Fyro, can you sense the others? Naofumi. Over there I think. Fyro. I leave navigations to Fyro. Occasionally we find a soldier's corpse lying around. We need to hurry. Naofumi. Yes. Fyro. Fyro speeds up, and we find the army squadron locked in battle. Since their forces are very large, it is difficult to miss them. Raphatalia is on the front lines destroying the familiars one after the other. Those that can still move are aiding her in battle. Rishia is frantically casting support magic from the rear. There are also many who have deserted due to the onslaught of monsters. Alright Fyro, we're helping them. Naofumi. Yes. Fyro. Fyro rushes in at the speed of sound and sends the familiars in front of Raphatalia flying with a kick. Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Yep, we've finally met up. What's the situation? Naofumi. We are in the middle of looking for the cave. Raphatalia. You still haven't found it. Naofumi. According to the Magic Brigade, it is impossible to locate it with magic because the turtle is constantly moving. Raphatalia. Fumo, Naofumi. So the troops have been manually searching for it whilst fending off attacks from these monsters. The number of familiars seems to be infinite. That must have been difficult. As I think this, an army recon squad comes running in. We have located a cave that seems to be the one we are looking for. Its appearance matches the one spoken of in legend. Recon person. And the Rezon squad leader points deeper into the mountains. That's good. I'll hold off the attacks, please lead us there. Naofumi. Understood, recon guy. Everyone, follow the hero of the shield's lead. Army person. Sir, yes sir, entire army. We continue to drive off the familiars and proceed to the cave the recon squad found. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 122, Exploration. Naofumi, be careful. Raphatalia, okay. Raphatalia uses magic to create a ball of light that illuminates the cavern. I am in the lead while Raphtalia, Phiro, Rishia, and the allied forces follow along. Eyeball-like familiars and caterpillar-like familiars were appearing from the walls of the cave, though they weren't that strong at fighting. The problem is this cave, this structure is as complex as a maze. The walls aren't living beings but stone and mud. Naofumi, do you know the way? Soldier, more or less. I was assigned to the reserves because I investigated caves in the past. Naofumi, that's helpful. It would take too much time to map this place out from scratch after all. We spread open the map to confirm the location. As I thought, the cave has a complex maze-like structure. The ironic thing is that there is another entrance at the back, where the town was. Shit. Well, it can't be helped since I didn't know. In the first place, it was just Phiro and I. It would be meaningless if I didn't meet up with the group that is supposed to seal the heart. The problem is, it seems that the location of the heart isn't shown. Perhaps it could be on the way. Unless we can stop the spirit turtle from regenerating, we won't be able to stop it from advancing. Doesn't seem very reliable, huh? Naofumi. Oh. After checking the map, I find a spot that is somewhat bigger than the rest. It would be a good idea to put together a search group and have the rest wait there. Honestly, too many people would burden our movement. There's no problem if there were guys that could match Raphtalia and Phiro's level of performance. But it would be cruel to demand the same as these two from the rest. Anyway, tricking the allied forces into thinking this is a break would be fine. Let's go with that. Deciding what to do, I mark the large space on the map of the cave, and tell the allied forces the goal. Eventually, the space opened up according to what was shown on the map. Originally I thought the map was based entirely on guesses, but it might be dependable after all. It's good that we have arrived at our desired location, but Phiro, there's some huge demon. Within the large clearing is a large demon, which has a presence suitable to being the spirit turtle's familiar. It would be useless to compare its huge total length to the other familiars. Looks like the purpose of its deployment here at the plaza is to remove invaders like us. It's like that game called Prisoner's Base. Note, I'm sure most of you guys played this before in elementary. http://www.games-kids-play.net/games/chasing_games/prisoners_base.htm. It feels like a mid-boss from RPGs. It's the spirit turtle after all. This should be considerably stronger than the other small fries. The problem is the number of them. We can still keep our composure with just one, but if there are more it would be dangerous for the allied forces. Raphtalia, since this is the case, what shall we do? It would be troublesome for another to appear after we defeat this one. Should we just try it? Naofumi, alright, fortunately there is only one, we will defeat it and then observe the circumstances. You guys in the allied forces, pay attention to the rear. Soldiers, roger. Phiro, okay. Rishia, Fui, I'll do my best. Naofumi, ha. As usual, Rishia said those words I warned her about. Well, it's not like it's going to stop all the way just because I warned her. Right now what Rishia needs is confidence and experience. It would be nice if she could act like she did with the queen. I want her to become strong, not only from levels, but also from actual combat experience. With that in mind, you could say that the spirit turtle is the perfect opponent for that. Though it's just a slightly drastic measure. Naofumi, alright, charge. We charge towards the familiar that is occupying the plaza. This is different from the gorillas and yetis outside, a turtle man type. It's a monster that spans a full 4 meters in length. Phiro Teria. Phiro kicks the familiar's shell with all her might. A loud crack resounded and the shell caved in. It was sent flying into a wall and its movements stopped. Raphtalia ya. With a flash of her sword, Raphtalia cuts off the familiar's head. That familiar is so unreliable. Rishia was trying to attract its attention with weak magic attacks, and she also supported Raphtalia. In the case that we are targeted, I have the meteor shield up to defend. For the time being her understanding of cooperation is lacking. Just a passing mark. Or rather, the cooperation itself isn't a problem. We can expand on that after strengthening her body. The problem is that her abilities are affected by her status. What was she concentrating on before? Raphtalia, this thing is quite disappointing. Raphtalia swings the blood off her sword after confirming the annihilation of the familiar. It was certainly much weaker than expected. I mean, the spirit turtle was so tough. Was I too cautious? No, the allied force is behind me. Being very cautious is just right. Phiro, yup. It was only a little bit hard. Raphtalia, Phiro, did you kick the hardest place intentionally? Phiro, because everything else is soft. Raphtalia, that's wasted movement. The two of them are having a silly conversation. It's like a conversation between a genius and a prodigy. Rishia, the two of them are very strong. Naofumi Rishia. Rishia Fui, I'll make that my goal. HRMM, put in the effort and strive to get there, don't just say it. This has completely become a habit. Naofumi, as for reinforcements, it doesn't seem like there are any. Raphtalia seems that way. Apparently there is no trap that causes us to defeat the thing endlessly. Soldiers amazing. Our group of allied forces exclaims this to us. For us who fought though, I'd say it was weak, but what is the average level of our forces? If it's around level 60, I'll cry. Shadow, hero of the shield Dano. Shadow appears. Speaking of which, where were you? The knife in her hand was drenched in the blood of familiars, so it looks like she was fighting somewhere else. Naofumi, what happened? Shadow, I am investigating this place according to the plan Digojuru. Naofumi, right, I mean, why did you come? Shadow, as per the plan, I was assigned to guard the allied forces Digojuru. Other than that, the Queen told me to ask Hero of the Shield Dano for orders Digojeruyo. Naofumi, that's fine. To have Shadow guard the allied forces, for the time being this guy can act as a military unit. Are the familiars of the spirit turtle that strong? Well, I should regard the allied forces as a special unit that seals the spirit turtle. I'll calculate where I should assign our combat ability. Naofumi, alright. To each of you from the allied forces, I intend to search for the spirit turtle's heart. With this place as a base. It is important for everyone to protect this place. We will begin the search. Allied forces are roger that. The tension is gone as the allied forces cautiously begin to rest in the plaza. It seems they have become considerably fatigued from the extreme tension and continuous fighting. I didn't expect that they would fight till they were this tired. Is it the shield's influence? Or is it just that Raphtalia and Phiro are strange? In any case, without thinking about various things, we won't be able to reseal the spirit turtle. Naofumi, Shadow, do you know the average level of the allied forces? Shadow, the average level of the military units for sealing the heart of the spirit turtle is 65. Digojuru. It's not as bad as expected. What? Is the difference with growth correction this big? Since Rishia's stats are so low, is this the standard without growth correction? No, I expect that's not the case. Since Itsuki's reason for dismissing Rishia is because she is weak. That Rishia at least has some war potential now thanks to the Phiro costume. Should I ask the old man to make more Phiro costumes? There are only 2 pieces of material required. Mass production of the Phiro costume, huh? I wonder if it's possible by plucking Phiro's feathers. Phiro. Suddenly Phiro's feathers stand on end restlessly like a wave. Raphtalia, what's happening? Phiro, something strange is in the air. I didn't say anything and she still noticed. What a sharp fellow. It seems plucking her feathers is impossible. Naofumi, Shadow is stronger than that fellow though. I know since we fought together a little back on Kalmyra Island. Having a unit that is on Shadow's level is extremely convenient, they should be useful. Shadow, temporarily, our assassination unit will enter the battlefield Digojurukara, we are knowledgeable on levels and martial arts Digojuru. Naofumi, then take half of the Shadow Corps to defend, and the remaining half to search. Shadow, understood Digojuru. That being said, right now there are considerably less shadows. Digojurukara, please don't expect too much Digojuru. Naofumi, I know. The shadows tailing the other heroes are missing, they probably can't move due to the situation. Or dead in the worst case scenario. To that extent the allied forces should be more dependable when including them. Anyway, the strategy has been decided. There is still a long way to go. We will look for the heart as the allied forces take a break. Naofumi, Rishia, you wait here and fight with the allied forces if demons appear. Rishia, you understood. Naofumi, Raphtalia and Phiro, you two are searching with me. Phiro, use your nose. I'll be relying on you. Phiro, okay. I'll do my best. Raphtalia, roger. We left Rishia behind and we advanced towards the caves that started to diverge. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 123, Blue Hourglass. How many dead ends does this make now? I check the map, and confirm that everything is mapped out. The road connected to the heart of the spirit turtle still hasn't been found. Naofumi. Sometimes we encounter familiars, but they aren't a problem since Raphtalia and Phiro are here. Every time we come across a dead end, we head back to where Rishia and the allied forces are to confirm it. They encountered some familiars several times as well, but somehow they were able to defeat it. With Rishia leading the way. With those stats. It's thanks to the Phiro costume. Naofumi shit. As this continued, the spirit turtle approached human villages and we started getting impatient. In the first place, this kind of cave, as long as the spirit turtle isn't some artificial life form, shouldn't the dungeon walls be made of meat? I wonder. It feels like we haven't even found the entrance yet. Or is this cave itself a mistake? According to the map this should be the bottom layer, but Shadow, hero of the shield Dono. Shadow appears and updates my map. All the dead ends have been filled out. Naofumi, what happened? Was there a mistake in the legend? Shadow, not exactly Digojiruka, but we have checked for hidden doors Digojiru. Phiro, hey master. Phiro is having a good time kicking the ground. Naofumi, can you check one more time? Or should I just go ahead and dig? A tool to dig will be necessary. That reminds me, I have a digging skill. Phiro, hey. Shadow, the allied forces have already packed their luggage Digojiru. Phiro, hey. Naofumi, what? Phiro is trying to get my attention by calling out. Phiro, ummuc. The floor, isn't it kind of strange? Phiro rubs her foot in on the ground and hits it. By the way, there are no echoes, and I even confirmed that there is no hidden floor. Naofumi, what's strange about it? Phiro, it's a living creature. Naofumi, of course we're inside the mountain on the back of a giant monster. Phiro, that's not it. Phiro smacks her foot on the floor again. The floor ripples with a boing sound. Naofumi, that sound, it was strange. Come to think of it, that strong acid water from the intermediate class recipes that I wasn't able to make before should be suitable here. I recall exactly how, and make it with my shield. Naofumi, Phiro, stay back a little. Phiro, okay. I take the strong acid water from the shield and pass it to Raphtalia. Naofumi, scatter that. Raphtalia, okay. Raphtalia scatters the strong acid water onto the ground. Spirit turtle. The floor wriggles and reveals its true form. The mucus-bodied huge eyeball opens up like mochi, and a turtle shell appears in its place. Note, mochi is a Japanese rice cake. As for what's happening, it's like this. http://imager.com/e3sitz but with a giant eyeball, ew. Shadow, I see, so it is a mimic type familiar Digojiruka, no wonder we couldn't find it Digojiru. Naofumi, since it was dormant, it didn't show any signs of being alive, so that's why we were never able to sense it. To think that even Shadow and Phiro couldn't sense it, what a splendid cheat-like familiar. Naofumi, kill them. Phiro, okay. Raphtalia, roger. Shadow, I too shall go Digojiru. Every attack on a mimic-type familiar kills it. The mimic-type familiars shrink like a slug and then disappear into vapor when they die. Shadow, so the path was concealed in such a place Digojirina. When we confirm the disappearance of the last familiar, a path appeared. That means, all dead ends up until now are doubtful. That being said, let's proceed down this path first. Naofumi, let's go. All members nod and follow me. After advancing a little, I felt the wall, temperature and air change. The wall itself is warm and pulsating. Phiro, this feels strange. Raphtalia, that's right, I feel a little sick. Phiro, does Phiro's mouth feel the same? What an unpleasant thought. It does seem like Phiro to say something like that, huh? Naofumi, I wonder if we entered the spirit turtle's body. It still feels like a cave though, but it's for real now. Our foothold is squishy, and pulsing could be heard. Anyway, let's verify where the heart is. Thinking about it, the demons and white clumps flying towards us are like platelets under a microscope. Note, http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/platelet. Note 2, as for the white clumps, I googled it and I lost my appetite. Thanks to my meteor shield repelling them, Raphtalia and Phiro were able to kick them around. Apparently, these familiars appear to be the immune system. Every now and then, parasite-like caterpillar would appear, spreading potent acid wherever they go. Neofumi, it would seem that bringing the allied forces here would be hard. The demons appear quite frequently. Since we are getting close to the heart, the defense would be stronger. Shadow, shall I return and guide them here, Digojiruka? Neofumi, no, we haven't found the heart yet. In the first place, there is no conclusive evidence that this is the correct path either. We'll get to where it's at and clear it out. Shadow understood, Digojiru. As we advanced forwards a little, a red muscle dangling from something is blocking our path. Either way, a gimmick of this kind will just be cut open. Neofumi, Raphtalia, cut through it. Raphtalia, okay. Raphtalia cuts the red muscle. The wall of meat opens up and a path appears. Shadow, how, you understand it well, Digojirina. Neofumi, I don't know about the other heroes, but frankly that muscle was suspicious. I do know. A few things you know. Shadow, so that's how it is, Digojiruka. Now then, after advancing a bit, what blocked our way this time is a blue muscle. Ha, even if you change it a bit, the path is still here. Neofumi, Raphtalia. Raphtalia, okay. After cutting it down in the same fashion, the path in front opens up, but the red muscle behind us is restored. So troublesome. Furthermore, just like a warning, every time we cut down a muscle, demons from the immune system appear. Though, we advanced quite far. We heard the beating of a giant heart from behind a door. After cutting open a blue muscle, we found it. However, after seeing the inside, the double doorway in front of us closed. That's troublesome. It seems that unless we cut somewhere else, this won't open completely. Neofumi, as if I'd let you. Raphtalia, cut the red tube. Raphtalia, oh okay. After cutting open the red one, the inner part of the door opened. I rush forwards while deploying the meteor shield. Neofumi, Phiro. There should be another muscle somewhere, tear it up. Phiro, MK. The meteor shield makes a cracking sound. It seems the attack outside was more concentrated. After Phiro checks the area, she uses spiral strike to tear apart the muscle on the wall, and that causes massive bleeding. Spirit turtle. I heard a voice that could be from the heart in the interior. It was probably painful. Regeneration, seems like it's trying. Do we have 30 seconds? Neofumi, let's go. Raphtalia, okay. I advance through the path open to the heart. After a while I discover a white muscle. The rear opened when it was cut. Ha! Obediently let me conquer you. Neofumi, Shadow, if continuing through this place is the path, then it is your duty to report it. Shadow understood, Dioharu. Do you want me to carry out the order now, Digojiruka? Neofumi, no, after a little more. Before long, an out-of-place blue building came into view. It was a blue hourglass of the dragon's era. The size of it is smaller than the hourglass in Melromark. It's just that it exerts a somewhat light presence inside the body of the spirit turtle. Neofumi, hourglass of the dragon's era. Raphtalia, it's blue. Shadow, that's right, Digojirina. Phiro, there's less sand. Right, as Phiro said, there is less sand in this blue hourglass of the dragon's era compared to the other one. Phiro, also, what are those letters of there? In the middle of the hourglass of the dragon's era, written not with letters of this world, is a familiar character, the number 7. What on earth could it be? Also on the hourglass, there are marks similar to a scale. The whole thing seems to only have about 1/10 of its quantity left. I try to gently touch it. And my hand slips through. It seems I won't be able to touch the blue hourglass. Something is different about this hourglass of the dragon's era from the countries. That one has the function of informing us when the next wave will appear and class up, but I don't understand what this can do. Neofumi, there's no use worrying. Our first priority is to confirm it. Raphtalia, okay. Neofumi, it will be fine to investigate it later. Phiro okay. After advancing past the blue hourglass for a little, we discover the heart. Its magnitude was more than 6 meters, the heart is divided into 2 different colors. Naofumi, so this is the heart of the spirit turtle huh? Shadow looks that way Digojurina. It's a very ominous creature Digojuru. An eye directs its gaze towards our voices. No matter how you look at it, that is not a welcoming gaze. Spirit turtle. Do we seal this guy? Asterisk Pew, light hits the meteor shield and is reflected off. Teal note, I have no idea, but it's light so I'll just go with Pew. Furthermore, a high-powered laser is discharged from the eye. The eye on the heart of the spirit turtle opens wide and vibrates. Familiars of the spirit turtle appear out of nowhere. What a troublesome opponent. It's not necessary for us to fight it, we'll have to group up with the Allied forces to come and seal it. It can probably call an unlimited amount of familiars. Naofumi, should we weaken it for now? Shadow, go back. Rafetalia okay. Phiro okay. Shadow understood Digojeruyo. Rafetalia and Phiro jump out from the barrier and attack the heart of the spirit turtle. Both of them can't help but unleash their respective finishing moves. Rafetalia Yin Yang Sword. Phiro critical quick. Both their attacks hit the eye of the spirit turtle's heart. Spirit turtle. Hey hey, it's raging, it's raging. The vicinity around us vibrates. A huge magic formation develops on the heart of the spirit turtle. It seems to be doing something. Naofumi, Rafetalia, Phiro, get back. Rafetalia roger. Phiro okay. Both of them fall back within the range of the meteor shield as I prepare for the attack. The spirit turtle's heart shoots a black ball of magic at me. I receive it. The meteor shield shatters like glass. When the black ball hits the shield and light is distorted. My body is heavy. This magic is super gravity. My body feels incredibly heavy. However, my defensive power won't be suppressed by something of this degree. Naofumi dirya. I divert the ball of light to the right, and the ball of supergravity is repelled. As expected, I won't be hit with something as powerful as that electric attack from outside. Well, that's what it feels like. I don't think the spirit turtle would do something that would destroy its own heart. And so, the tube streaming around the spirit turtle's heart is analyzed, some kind of white spirit is circulating through it. It is scattered around the room centering from the heart. Naofumi meteor shield. I once again put up the meteor shield. I should receive it, once, what kind of attack is it? I must receive it to analyze it. Though for now I should be careful. Naofumi, alright, we're not going to fight now. We'll withdraw and bring the allied forces here. Shadow roger Digojuru. We postpone the battle against the spirit turtle's heart and withdraw. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 124, Heart of the Spirit Turtle. Rishia, are you guys alright? When we came back, Rishia and the allied forces greeted us. Naofumi, we found the heart. Soldiers, oh! The allied forces let out delighted voices. The problem is getting these guys there. Just like a while ago, it would be difficult to get to the heart. Naofumi, how is the damage? Soldier, before Hiro-sama returned we were attacked by demons 9 times. There have been some victims. Naofumi Famu. Anyways, victory is before our eyes. Rishia, did you find Itsuki-sama? Naofumi, no, we did not. Come to think of it, the other heroes still haven't been found. Did we just miss them? That's a pretty painful thought. Since there are hidden floors here, they might have entered by destroying if they knew. Could they be fighting somewhere else on this mountain? No, surely they witnessed that disastrous scene in the town. Normally after seeing a scene like that, the subjugation of the spirit turtle would become top priority. So far my analysis of those guys tell me that they aren't bad to that extent. No way, did they get annihilated after all? This thing is a monster. So I can't deny that possibility. Should I prepare for the worst case scenario? Rishia, I see. Naofumi, don't be discouraged. It's better than finding a corpse. Rishia, Fui, okay. Orders to protect would be evaluated higher. They shouldn't be that desperate. Full note, not sure about this line. Naofumi, it's fine to look for the other heroes after we seal the spirit turtle. You guys from the allied Forces come with us. From now on, the demons' attacks will become even more intense. Prepare yourselves. Even heroes aren't almighty, if possible try to protect yourselves. Soldiers, yes. The group of allied forces nod and raise their voice at my instructions. After this, let's concentrate on which units that I expect will make it to the heart. It has to be that I had to rely on volunteers last wave since I was weak. Yup. When I think about future waves and fighting with the strength of others, it's harsh. How many sacrifices will there be? We bring the allied forces and head back to the depths of the cave. Along the way, I explained to the allied forces the various attacks of the spirit turtle's heart. Also for them not to be defeated between the gaps of meteor shield, air strike shield, and second shield's protection. Soldier as expected of the hero of the shield Sama, to go through the effort of analyzing the enemy to prevent our sacrifice. Naofumi, I guess so. It's not possible to protect. It's not possible to defend them against the attacks of the opponent when they are attacking as well. I am only conveying that. Naofumi, just that, I wasn't able to grasp the real nature of the white lump attack that the heart fired. Before our withdrawal. Be careful. Soldiers, roger. The familiars that appeared along the way were barely beaten by Raphtalia, Phiro, Rishia, and the allied forces' attacks. When the cave walls became walls of meat, the allied soldiers' breaths got taken away. As everyone carefully proceeded, the sound of the heart beating could be heard. Opening the red muscle and closing the blue line were assigned to the allied forces, while Raphtalia and Phiro dealt with the attacks from the front and behind by familiars. Those parasites that suddenly appear are a problem. They appeared when the meat walls were torn down, so the response was late. There were some casualties. Mental fatigue started appearing on the group of allied forces. When someone was caught by the immune system like familiars, he was melted right before our eyes. Full note, ew. Those with weak spirits vomited on the spot. Naofumi, don't stop. Anybody who stops here becomes their prey. Anybody who is separated has no hope. I lead the way and protect, while Raphtalia and Phiro defeat the enemies. And Shadow was standing by, at the last gate mechanism. Naofumi, hey. When I call out, the door opens. Naofumi, are you okay? Shadow, I wouldn't be opening the door if I wasn't safe. Digo Jeruyo. Naofumi, I guess so. Since she is good at hiding, there doesn't seem to be any problems. As I thought, Shadow is dependable. This is just my selfish wish, but I want a companion like Shadow. Naofumi, alright, the spirit turtle's heart is just beyond this point. Everyone from the allied forces, I'll be relying on you. Raphtalia, you're right. But don't start until we weaken the spirit turtle's heart. That's right. Well, there shouldn't be any problems considering Raphtalia, Phiro, and Shadow's attack power. Even Rishia and the group of allied forces should be able to have some effect due to their numbers. Soldier, it takes time to prepare the ceremony. Naofumi, so we should be playing for time then. There's this too? Can't be helped. Naofumi, you guys can't prepare the cast beforehand. Soldier, right, the ceremony requires us to stay within a certain range. So it's come down to that, During that time, the power of defense from the shield will be useful. Naofumi, then I'll protect you guys from the allied forces as you concentrate on the ritual. Everyone else will defeat the familiars that appear while Raphtalia and Phiro weakens the heart. Raphtalia, understood. Phiro, okay. Soldier, roger. I see Rishia making a face that asks what she should do. Rishia, what should I do? Naofumi, you are. What she should do is a delicate question. Full note, delicate line. She is more reliable than the group of allied forces, but I feel anxious for her compared to Raphtalia. Her movements have become faster, the person in question is also delighted about that, though. There is fear that she doesn't understand what is ahead. Naofumi, I'll entrust Rishia to cover the rear. Before you go, your job is to report to me if something unexpected happens. Rishia, oh okay. This is the only thing to do for now. On the way, everybody held their breaths due to the blue hourglass. It is still somehow intimidating. Huh? Did the sand increase slightly? No, it's just my imagination. Some sand might have collapsed due to swaying slightly. Now, let's head to the decisive battle. Soldier, this is the spirit turtle's heart. Somebody from the Allied forces expresses. It is certainly ominous. The spirit turtle's heart lets out a sound that's like a roar. The eye opens widely and its pulsation strengthens. I remember from a while ago. Yeah, we won't withdraw this time, and we will defeat you. Naofumi, let's go. Everyone dash. The magic corps from the Allied forces starts preparing the ceremony by chanting magic. Following up, Raphtalia and Phiro start attacking the spirit turtle's heart. And the other Allied forces start cutting down the familiars that appear. I interfere with the familiars aiming at the magic core with heightened reaction, airstrike shield, and second shield. I also use change shield to give status debuffs. In addition, shield bash is also utilized. My SP decreases considerable, and I use the Soul Eat ability on the Soul Eater shield to replenish. I also use a convenient SP recovery, small. Raphtalia Naofumi-sama. As expected, there is a lot. Phiro, yet there is no end. Since the fight we had before was just reconnaissance, our combat time was short. Due to that, we couldn't measure the number of reinforcements. Familiars are appearing in the room with the spirit turtle's heart from the wall, the ground, and the ceiling. The heart doesn't remain silent, and throws all of its familiars at us, and also shoots lasers. The spirit turtle's heart is aiming towards the magic core that is reciting the magic for the seal. What's this? Does it intend to fire something? A magic formation appears on the eye of the spirit turtle's heart. Is it the supergravity magic? The magic begins to form at high speed. It's something else. I stand in front of the magic crops and ready my shield. Immediately after that I realize that my hunch was correct. A high output laser was released from the heart's pupil. Naofumi wo. Several people who were in the way of the laser were disintegrated without a trace, and when it hit my shield, I was blown a few steps back. Naofumi, damn. This laser doesn't end like the normal ones, it is still going. It is a very thick beam. Sort of like a deadly attack from a game. The firepower is lower than the electric shock, but it would do more than hurt if I was hit. Naofumi dirya. I change the angle of the shield, and deflect the laser. The ceiling of the heart room was scorched. Fresh blood drips from the ceiling. Well, it regenerates in a bit, as if it was never there in the first place. Raphtalia Naofumi-sama. Phiro, are you okay? Naofumi, yeah, no problems here. The one outside was still stronger. The heart probably can't withstand it though. We can win when the sealing ceremony is completed. Naofumi, is the magic seal not completed yet? Soldier, just wait a little longer. Naofumi, alright, Raphtalia and Phiro, use your best attack to weaken it. Raphtalia, okay. Phiro, okay. According to my instructions, Raphtalia and Phiro use their finishing attacks. Raphtalia Yin Yang Sword. Phiro critical quick dash. The spirit turtle's heart starts to shake in agony as the ceiling starts to tremble. Not yet. Does damaging the monster's source of vitality weaken it? For the time being, let's concentrate our attacks. I have a very bad feeling for some reason. Raphtalia, with this. Phiro, how's this? Raphtalia and Phiro cut apart several tubes that are connected to the spirit turtle's heart. Spirit turtle dash. The movement of the eye on the heart weakens remarkably. With this we should be able to buy some more time before the sealing magic completes. Soldier, it's completed. Naofumi, alright. Go. Soldier, okay. We command the origin of power. We have read and deciphered the truth, 4 spirits of calamity. Become the wedge that stops the spirit turtle here and now. The spirit turtle's heart starts to move suspiciously. A large white mass circulates through the heart and scatters in all directions. Solider high-class group dash. The white mass flies everywhere, including towards the Allied forces. I use Meteor Shield, Shield Prison, Airstrike Shield, and Second Shield to defend the magic core. As much as possible. Naofumi wo. Rishiakai. Naofumi, damn. However, a small part of the attack wasn't prevented completely, and it hits the rear. As I was holding the shield in front, I look back. Damn, there were an unexpectedly large amount of casualties. Naofumi, are you guys okay? Soldier, my apologies, we have failed. A person from the magic core reports to me. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 125, Possibilities. Not yet. Report your situation. Naofumi. The people who received the attack have yet to recover. We are confirming the situation. Soldier. How is the front line holding up? I look towards Raphatalia and Phiro, who are currently battling around the heart. The assaulting familiars seem to be endless. Both of them are exhausted. When the chance comes, they break through and reach my location, but their faces are pale. Are you two alright? Naofumi. Why yes, but, my mana is, Raphatalia. Yeah, you know, they absorbed our mana, Phiro. How troublesome. This attack has the same effect as the electric blast from the head. I receive an information report from the back line. A large number of troops have died from mana depletion. Soldier. How is the situation on the front? Naofumi. Because of the hero of the shield's protection, they have begun to prepare the sealing magic for the heart. Soldier. I see, Naofumi. For my drain resistance to come in handy in a place like this. The casualties are great, but we will still be able to carry out the mission. It might be difficult, but please finish the sealing preparations as quickly as possible. Naofumi. Yes sir. Magicians. By this pattern, the spirit turtle's heart begins releasing the magic energy it has stored up. I rush in front and hold up my shield to deflect the blasts of energy. Underscore. Spirit turtle. Goo dash, Naofumi. The output is even higher than before. The white masses the heart had released are now reassimilating with it to increase the output. Long. The duration of this attack is much higher than any of the others I have withstood. My HP begins to drop. Dash, Naofumi. I can't change my position or the blast will be reflected on our forces. Mew. Don't use Phiro's power to hurt Master. Phiro. Phiro takes a stance. Raphatalia Onichan, costume-wearing Onichan. Please keep monsters away from Phiro for a little bit. Phiro. Why yes. Raphatalia. I understand. Rishia. Raphatalia and Rishia get into formation and repel the swarms of monsters from Phiro. Phiro. Phiro takes a very deep breath. I can feel the wind gathering around her. The white masses that had returned to the heart are being pulled away. More specifically, Phiro is sucking them in. The white clumps are forcefully pulled towards Phiro, being drawn to her strong magic. Soon, the magic blast weakens. Good job, Phiro. Naofumi. Dash, Phiro. I look behind me and see Phiro waving happily. She looks slightly more inflated than before. Did she eat those things? Payback. Phiro. Phiro faces the heart and opens her mouth. Something comes out. I think it is the air that she sucked into her body. A sphere of pressurized air flies towards the heart. Spirit turtle. The turtle hastily deploys a magic barrier around its heart, as if it sensed the dangers presented by Phiro's attack. The familiars, as if protecting the organ, fly head-on into the ball of air. But the sphere merely sucks in any monster that gets close, and continues to fly at the heart. A large sound fills the area, and the magic barrier around the heart breaks. The heart is reconstructing its defenses. It's the perfect time to activate the seal. Now. Naofumi. Ha! Magicians. We have read and understood the origin of power. It is the time for the truth of the world to manifest. Now become that chains that binds one of the four, the spirit turtle, this beast of calamity. A large magic circle appears centered around the heart. The turtle is currently focused on healing the damage caused by Phiro's attack. It is unable to perform a follow-up attack. This is the end. Large-scale covenant spell, magic sealing. Ribbons appear from the magic circle and begin encircling the heart, which has almost finished repairing itself. Spirit turtle. Badump, badump, ba, dump, ba. TL, if you have a better onomatopoeia, be my guest. The beating sound of the heart gets fainter, and eventually fades into nothingness. The monsters outside seem to have also stopped. From the next room, I can hear some noise. Yeeos! Soldiers! They are celebrating. Victory! We won! Soldier! Hooray! Soldier! It was long and difficult, but we finally did it. Soldier! TL, death flags all around. Phew! Onichan, Phiro is returning these. Phiro! Phiro, what are you doing? Raphatalia! Phiro suddenly throws up all of the white clumps she had inhaled at Raphatalia. Are they spirit? Attribute? Maybe I should absorb them. Raphatalia's face color is getting better as the drain effect wears off, but her expression is getting much, much worse. It's as if a bug had dropped down her back. Slapping the white clumps away, Raphatalia begins chasing Phiro around in rage. Oi, Phiro! I definitely won't let you off easily. Raphatalia! Ahaha, Phiro! Sigh, it seems we were somehow able to finish the ceiling. Master! Phiro! Phiro suddenly stops. Her face is pale. Badump! Badump! The heartbeat sounds resume. With the sound of breaking glass, the magic circle breaks apart. How could this be? Naofumi! Phiro did her best, so why? Phiro! The eye on the heart grows very large, and releases the beam attack once more. This thing knows not when to give in. Raphatalia! Yet! Phiro! Was it a failure? Naofumi! No, the spell went perfectly, but it was able to shrug it off with ease. Magician! Damn it! Damn it all! We don't have any forces left. The head has regenerated. We cannot seal the heart. No, there still has to be a way. I can't give in. Raphatalia, Phiro, can you handle it? Naofumi! Leave it to me. Raphatalia! Yes. Phiro! Both Raphatalia and Phiro prepare to unleash their respective strongest attacks. Even though it's broken free, there must be some information I can gain from this exchange. Tell the troops in the back lines to fall back. Naofumi! Be but dash, soldier! If possible, try to support these two, otherwise, tell them to focus on protecting themselves. Worse comes to worst, we will have to retreat. Naofumi! You understood. Soldier! The army follows my command and withdraws the back line. And Raphatalia, Phiro, me, Shadow and Rishia prepare for battle. Zevate Aura, Naofumi! I cast support magic on the party. The two rush forward. Spiral Strike! Phiro! Haka Destiny / Raphatalia! TL, Haka, Japanese pronunciation for Bagua, http://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/biagwa. Forward. This may be rash, but there are no other options. __________________________________________________________________ Spirit Turtle. The two fighters rush the heart of the spirit turtle. The turtle tries to summon familiars to protect it. But those two are putting all their magic remaining into this strike. The familiars have no effect. There is a grotesque sound. The heart has been pierced. Raphatalia! This is the limit, Phiro. I understand, please stand down. Naofumi! I observe the heart. Just as when it had been sealed, the beating has stopped. Did we do it? Most of the arteries around it have been reduced to scraps of flesh. The heart itself has a large hole in the center. If it could recover from this, it would truly be immortal. Badump! ___________. Before my very eyes, the arteries restore themselves and the hole begins to close. Wah, Raphatalia! What tenacity, Naofumi! Fui, Rishia! I also want to say Fui! The mission was a failure, Gojiru. We must call a retreat, Gojiru. Shadow. And after that? Can the 7-star heroes win against a monster like this? Naofumi! Out of rage, I unintentionally speak my mind. That may be so, Yaru, but staying here will not accomplish anything, Gojiru. Shadow. Naofumi! Shadow's right. Nothing has come out of fighting for hours inside of this thing. Where is it getting all of this vitality? If a monster like this appeared in a game, then no one would buy it. I understand. We'll retreat for now and think of another plan. Naofumi. Sir, yes sir. Soldier. The hearts of the soldiers is heavy. To fail after we had found victory. The mental damage inflicted is quite high. Carefully avoiding danger, I lead the men away from the heart and out of the turtle's body. It will be easier to escape from the town than from the mountains. Naofumi. The mountain path is heavily sloped. With the earthquakes caused by the moving turtle, the footing is unstable. Though we may have to deal with the rubble, it will probably be safer to dismount from the town area. We are thankful to you for finding a safe escape route, Commander. The army's commander gives me words of thanks. Don't mind it. Protecting is my duty. Naofumi. But, for all our efforts to come out in vain. The only information we got was that the sealing magic didn't work. Is there no way to win? I fend off monsters as we head towards the exit in the town. This is, Naofumi. It's a building similar to the temple I investigated with Phiro. It seems to be a temple Gojiru. Shadow. You can tell. Naofumi. I have been trained in scouting out buildings Gojiru. There are lithographs of the messages left by the heroes all over the place Gojiru. Shadow. Lithographs? Are they of the message I saw in the other temple? Naofumi. Perhaps these were made using that as reference Gojiru. Selling lithographs of these messages. Was this town's specialty Gojiru? There were probably more, but the entire town has been destroyed. With the awakening of the turtle Gojiru. Shadow. Reference? Could there have been people who could write in Japanese here? So this temple contains various lithographs. Kiyaki left the method of defeating the turtle. Perhaps, I may find a lithograph of his message. Can you let me look around for a bit? Naofumi. I do not believe now is the time for that Gojiru, Shadow. The previous message I saw had writing regarding how to defeat the spirit turtle. However, the most important info was left out. Naofumi. How surprising, then we must search through these records Gojiru. Shadow. My party and the rest of the army search for and gather all the lithographs we can find. These paintings are not very well done, they seem to be mass-produced varieties, with a simple picture of the turtle and words printed on them. And these works have also been damaged by the turtle's movements. Can you read it Gojiru? Shadow. How is it? Raphatalia. Like a jigsaw puzzle, I gather the pieces of various mass-produced pictures. Many of these have shattered beyond recognition. I don't think I can decipher this. I have found more. Rishia. Rishia comes carrying a large fragment of a lithograph. Finally, something I can read. Even more so than the wave, his objective is to stop. I can also make out the words head, heart, and same. I have to think, what would the hero Kiyaki want to leave behind? Along with the head, you must, to defeat this monster, then. It's cut off here. Now that I think about it, from the start, Kiyaki has been talking of a method to defeat, rather than seal it. So in the past, people had already figured out the method for defeating it. So why was it sealed until now? I don't understand. If I can't understand this point, I have to move on to the next. I must gather some useful information from this. Head, heart, same were used on the same line. Could it be that? That thing in games and manga. TL, you know that thing in Mega Man EXE and in Neon Genesis Evangelion, that thing. However, there is no way of testing that theory. What? Is that true? Soldier. As I am deep in thought, the army people are getting noisy. What's wrong? Naofumi. Look outside. The spirit turtle is approaching a city that hasn't finished evacuation. Saja boy. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 126, versus the Spirit Turtle, the final battle. I guess I can't waste any more time. Now that I think about it, we spent way too much of it inside of the turtle. It seems that due to our nervousness, we hadn't noticed just how much time had passed. If I don't leave to help out now, many deaths will result. There is something I would like to test. Naofumi. I pull out all of the medicine I have on hand and give it to Raphatalia and Phiro. Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Master. Phiro. Go back to the turtle's heart. I think I figured something out. Naofumi. It will probably take everything these two have to stop the heart again. I know this, but there is no other option. Master. Phiro. There's something I must do outside. Naofumi. Outside. Phiro. Yeah, I can only do it once, so I'll have to retreat after that, though. Rishia, please come support me. Naofumi. Fui. I understand. Rishia. You couldn't be, Raphatalia. Raphatalia is staring at me. I'd like to speak with her more, but she probably already knows my intentions. Raphatalia was there as well. If this plan fails, we have nothing left. At that time, please assist in the army's retreat. Naofumi. I can't. What about Naofumi? Raphatalia. I understand the danger. If I can't defeat it here, please return with the 7-star heroes and try to hold it off. Naofumi. The number on the blue hourglass was most likely the spirit turtle's lifespan. And the number never went down no matter how many times we killed it. If we do nothing here, many more innocents will die. Raphatalia, you understand that, right? Naofumi. Yes, but, Raphatalia. I put my hand on Raphatalia's shoulder and pat it gently. It's fine. I won't die. Even if the mission fails, I will do my best to allow the people to evacuate. Naofumi. But, Raphatalia. I know I am acting out of character, but if we can't stop it now, then our journey will just get much harder from here on out. Naofumi. I mean a lot when I say this. I plan to take on the crimes the other heroes have committed. Even after we deal with this turtle, the wave will continue. The blue sand and the red sand. The message from Kiyaki has made me certain this turtle and the wave are related. The things I hadn't even thought about before are now coming together in my mind. There are 4 heroes, and their weapons can be strengthened with no visible limit. That means that unbelievably strong enemies were set to appear where these bonuses were needed. If I can't beat this monster here, stronger enemies will appear alongside it. I want to avoid that at all costs. I understand, but still I wish to stand by Naofumi Raphatalia. Have you ever seen me hurt by an enemy attack? Naofumi. And no, Raphatalia. Then worry not. I'll say it again, but I'm not the kind of good Samaritan that will sacrifice his life. Here. I will live and return to my old world. Naofumi. Raphatalia. Regardless, after I use that skill, I will be left unable to battle. Then Rishia can help drag me out. Naofumi. If they launch a surprise attack on the heart, it shouldn't have enough time to retaliate. All I need to do is match the timing. This is a last resort. If this does nothing, then this mission has had no meaning from the start. I'll put my hope on the small fragments of information I have gathered. The risk is high, but worse comes to worst, the 7-star heroes can take over battling the wave. I am a little worried about the heart's energy blast, but Phiro should be able to avoid it. The problem is getting back to that room. Naofumi. I got there using an underhanded method, but for these two. Leave that to me, Gojiru. Shadow. Do you have something? Naofumi. I prepared something just in case we had to reach the heart again, Gojiru. Shadow. Thank you. I'll leave those two in your care. Naofumi. Understood, Gojiru. Shadow. Now then, Raphatalia, Phiro and also Shadow, go take out the heart. Rishia, please back me up. This is the plan. Naofumi. Rishia and Shadow show clear disapproval of my plan. Rishia also witnessed my fight with the Pope. She didn't know the long-term effect it had on my body, but she did witness the immediate effects. Phui. You'll die. Rishia. Isn't that a bit much, Gojiru? Shadow. This is something I must do. Raphatalia and Phiro don't have attacks large enough to finish off a monster of that size. I have to do this. Naofumi. If the hero of the shield retires here, it will greatly affect troop morale, Gojiru. Shadow. If I was sure of the 7 heroes' prowess, I might have been able to back down, but when there's a city that is about to be attacked right before my eyes, how can I stop? Naofumi. Understood, Gojiru. I apologize for making the recuperation you did on Kalmyra meaningless. Gojiru. Shadow. Likewise, I apologize for always relying on you like this. Naofumi. I somehow managed to convince the other two, and I give Raphatalia and Phiro the orders to assault the heart. I'm sorry for sending you back after we just escaped. Naofumi. Don't worry about it. Raphatalia. No problem, Phiro. I'll leaving the attack timing to you. It will be difficult, but I trust you can do it. Naofumi. I understand. Raphatalia. The turtles is almost at the city's gates. Even if the plan fails, I must fight the beast to bide for time. If I can just slow it down a little. Naofumi-sama, we're off. I wish you luck. Raphatalia. Master, fight. Phiro. Remember to escape as soon as you destroy the heart. Naofumi. Yes. Raphatalia. Yeb. Phiro. In truth, I also don't wish to fight. But to defeat this thing with the smallest amount of casualties possible, I must do this. I don't think I am wrong. Raphatalia rides Phiro, and disappears into the cave we just came out of. With Phiro's legs, they should be there soon. Men, protect yourselves and follow my lead. Let's go. Naofumi. Sir, yes sir. Army people. Why yes. Rishia. Before Raphatalia can make it to the heart, we must reach the head. Meteor shield. Come on Rishia, I'm counting on you too. Fight on. Naofumi. Yes. Rishia. Rishia clenches her fists tight and follows close. On the way, we run into a yeti-like familiar. Zivate aura. Naofumi. I cast support magic on Rishia. Amazing, my body feels light. Rishia. Rishia quickly takes out the familiar's eyes and pierces its heart. Though her base stats are low, due to the bonuses from the Phiro plushie and my support magic, her attacks have become quite potent. She developed a knack for observing the situation when studying under Itsuki. For her, seeing through a monster's weakness is quite easy. I don't have to protect her against monsters of this caliber. The Yeti dies before it can even realize it has been hit. I did it. Rishia. There are more coming, don't falter. Naofumi. Yes. Rishia. Nice response, it seems she has gained some confidence. We eventually get out of the town, and head into the mountainous area. The city is right at the turtle's feet. Damn! Isn't that Melromark? Naofumi. I see a low T of familiar buildings. The turtle moves slowly for its size, but its stride length and lack of rest itself makes up for this. The spirit turtle has crossed the Melromark national border. That's right, it was going for places with high population densities. Of course, Melromark's castle town is an obvious choice. The Queen's predictions were quite off. I can see people evacuating in every direction. If they just run like that, who's going to help those who can't run? Not yet. The spirit turtle steps into the city. The buildings collapse like toys beneath its feet. It was then that Melromark received a grim reminder. They had lived in fear of the turtles. Some attack spells are shot from the castle's direction. But this monster withstands it without even getting a scratch. Its magical resistance is too high. When we first fought the spirit turtle, the Queen's army tried to back us up with support fire, but it had no effect. Goo! The turtle is headed directly for the castle. Raphatalia, Phiro, are you there yet? Suddenly, the turtle's body clenches, as if it had been hit by a heavy blow. I can't see its full facial expression, but its eyes show that it is in great pain. Good, the heart has stopped. Wrath Shield. A number appears in my field of vision. 30 seconds left. But 30 seconds is more than enough. Rishia, I leave the army's safety to you. If something bad happens, call for an immediate retreat. Naofumi. You understood. Rishia. The target is the head. It still hasn't noticed my presence, so I must act fast. Wait. If I stop here, Melromark will fall into ruin. How much grief have these people put me through? I will never be able to forget the humiliation this country made me feel. This is my chance to get back at this country, isn't it? Wrong. There are many kind people here as well. Old man, Melty, apothecary, the volunteer soldiers, the magic shop. Even though he doesn't really count, the slave dealer is there too. I still haven't thanked these people for the kindness they showed me. Now isn't the time for vengeance. Now I can finally repay my debt. Blue top fur. Blood erupts from all over my body. My flesh rips apart and my bones creak. The pain is even stronger than last time. My head is throbbing. Is it because I strengthened the shield of wrath? But I knew what was coming this time. I was mentally prepared. I wonder if my body will hold up. Hack, Naofumi, TL cough sound, throwing up blood. Please endure, I can't fall just yet. I've paid the price. Under the turtle's head, an unbelievably large bear trap manifests from the ground. The spirit turtle is still concentrating on healing its heart, so its reaction speed has dropped. Underscore 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 underscore. Spirit turtle. A faint scream escapes its lips. The ground below my feet is shaking. Then a loud metallic bang is heard. The trap closes, digging into the turtle's flesh. With a creak, the trap opens again and once more. Spirit turtle. The turtle lets out an unbelievable scream that echoes throughout the area. It tries to rampage. It's too late. You are already dead. TL, he really says Omi wa Mao. Oh Werida. Bang. The bear trap closes for a final time. There is not a shred of the turtle's head left. Having finished its purpose, the giant bear trap is swallowed by the ground. Will it regenerate again? My conscience is fading. I change my shield to the Soul Eater shield. Wait. What about the familiars? When I turn around, the army is rushing at me whilst cheering. The spirit turtle and its familiars have stopped moving entirely. Soldier. As I hear this, my vision slowly fades to darkness. TL, the world is red, no, the one that is red is me. Underscore 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 me-sama. Rishia. I hear Rishia's shocked voice. I think she caught me. She's wearing the Fyro plushie so it's hard to tell, but it's probably Rishia. Fyro never calls my name, anyways. I can't stay conscious any longer. Did I act too rashly? Rishia, please. Raphatalia. Queen. Report, Naofumi. I'm sleepy. I pray I'm still alive when I open my eyes. I wonder what death is like. I'm a bit scared. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 127, Overprotective. Heavy. I remember this feeling. I open my eyes and check the surroundings. Looks like I was put to sleep in the healing house's bed. When I look I see Fyro is sleeping while leaning on me, and Raphtalia fell asleep while sitting in a chair. This is still fine, but for some reason even Melty is sleeping with Fyro. Again When I use blue top fur it always ends up like this. Ah, you regained consciousness. Rishia just came into my sick room carrying a water bottle. Unusually she's not wearing the costume. Thinking about it Rishia looked like this didn't she? She's always wearing the Fyro costume so I forgot. Raphtalia-san, please wake up. The hero of the shield regained consciousness. With a sway Rishia shakes Raphtalia. While watching that I checked my condition. There don't seem to be any wounds. The healing house's people probably dealt with the curse too. But, the lethargy following my body around nearly makes my eyes spin. As expected, the stat reductions are having quite an effect. You guys. Heavy. I moved Fyro and Melty and got up. Naofumi-sama. You woke up. Yeah, I must have worried you. Of course I was worried. Truly, you were so unreasonable. I ignore Raphtalia's grumpy scolding and look at Rishia. If I obediently listen to this from the beginning the sun will set after all. What's the situation? Are you listening? If I say no she'll probably get angry. Well, I am not listening though. But there's no reason to start a quarrel. I am properly listening. There's a lot of other stuff I want to know. Iito, 1 day's passed since then. One day, when I released blue top fur before it took 2 days so it's pretty fast. As usual my condition's bad, but it's the kind of thing you get used to. The Queen ordered your treatment to be of the utmost priority. Which means, it's probably safe to think I received expensive magical and herbal treatment. There wasn't even a place to give treatment in the castle town before. What happened to that turtle? Its life ended right before Melromark was going to take casualties. I see. While I was unconscious, it's good it didn't revive or something. It seems that method was right. Right now, they're in the middle of disposing of the remains. Understood. By the way. NN. Why is Melty here? Eto, Princess Melty heard the hero of the shield was seriously wounded and WA. Melty, who just woke up, yells in a loud voice to make Rishia, whose eyes are glittering, shut up. Just what kind of situation is this? Just as before, Melty still has a hysteric part to her. While I was still sleepy, just what kind of made-up stuff were you trying to say? I'm extremely sorry. When dealing with a princess, Rishia is also unable to act strong. Raphtalia and Phiro are used to it after all. Rather, she seems to dislike stiff attitudes. Then Melty, I'm already fine, so return to the castle. Is that the way you talk to someone who came to visit you worried? Oh, that's right. While you're at it, call the queen. There's a mountain load of things I want to ask her after all. In the end it's that. I got it already. Melty storms out at a pace unthinkable for a princess. And then right after turning around, she stuck her tongue out and taunted me. Like a child. No, she is a child. Isn't it an action fitting for her age? Just what are you laughing for? Stupid Naofumi. Wait, Melty-chan. You sure do talk the talk. Your lordship. Follow her and come back. Yet. Phiro followed after Melty and left. Then. The noisy person disappeared. However, even then there's no need to stay on my side forever. I get up from the bed and stand. Are you fine? Resting a bit longer would be. The injuries are already healed, so it's stamina only. Right now I want to check the situation for myself. I check the status. Uwa. There's only 30% of before I lost consciousness. My defense staying unchanged is the only relief. While dragging my heavy body, I look outside from the healing room. I can see a shell as big as a mountain range is blocking out the sun. Other than that, I can see guys doing repairs. Losses ended up heavy. On the other hand, if it hadn't been stopped there, the castle would have been destroyed. That's right. The wave is coming in 2 days. Preparations need to be made. With that thought, I focus on the hourglass floating in my vision to measure the exact time. Hi. The red hourglass number is still frozen. And then, I'm able to confirm that the blue hourglass icon is still moving. Eto. The number is 8. I have a really bad feeling. Just in case I check. This time the remaining time in the blue hourglass is displayed. Roughly, 3.5 months. What's happening? If this is the time until the next wave, or alternatively, some seal dissolves, then, it's quite long. No, if it's preparations to fight a monster that caused that level of damage, then it's short? I don't know. Excuse me. When I turn to the voice, the queen enters the room. Behind the queen there's also the allies' top brass. How does your body's condition seem to be? Not that good. I have come with a message from an expert healer. You will need at the fastest 3 months to recover. Also, even if you go with house rest, he wants that move to be prohibited until full recovery. Even if you say that, if I hadn't used it, the castle and town would have been annihilated. I understand. Regardless, it's the healer house's healer's appraisal that if you end up having to use it before you recover, you'll definitely die. I see. There's that large of a risk. Well, even I knew it took a large toll. To be honest, it's not like I used it because I wanted to, and if I can avoid having to use it, I'd prefer it as well. I got it. As expected, I won't use it. I don't want to use a skill that damages me anyway. From now on I'll avoid using blue topfer. Then, how about the repairs? Yes, we took heavy damage, and the disposal of the upside-down turtle is holding us up. Can that thing even be disposed of? What can I say, it's currently as if an actual mountain came to the castle. Right, according to the investigation squad's analysis, rather than dispose it's better to leave it. That's about right. It seems disposal is more getting rid of perishables such as the meat. Yes. It's true, the disposal of that mountain-like monster's body will be problematic. However, leaving it to rot until it spreads diseases would be a true problem. Currently, we're in the middle of butchering the meat. Are you collecting the familiars and materials? Yeah, the kind of things Iwatani-sama would want were in advance. That saved me. There's the Soul Eater Shield's example. The turtle's shield will be really strong. Probably. It seems I'll also be able to absorb its heart and familiars. The rest I think I'll explain at the castle. Ah, by the way, it's about the hourglass, but I know about that matter as well. There were 2 days, so preparations are already finished by now it seems. It's really helpful the explanation's fast. Then, guess I'll go. Wouldn't it be better to rest a bit more? Says Raphtalia, who is worrying about my body. I understand the feelings, but there are some stuff I might do at the very least. It's best to rest my body only after I've dealt with the troublesome stuff. No, either way I only have to talk. Since I'm only tired there's no problem. I understand. But no matter what, don't overdo it, okay? Yeah. It's true I'm exhausted, but not to the point that I'll die. I'd prefer if I wasn't treated like an invalid. Was Raphtalia always this overprotective? Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 128, A Hero's Treatment. Thank you, Hero of the Shield-sama. Random citizens. Hero-sama. More random citizens. I was heading towards the castle, however, because Fyro had already gone ahead. I rode in the carriage provided by the queen, and the citizens of the castle town waved at me like I was in the middle of a triumphal return. Such materialistic guys. Well, I knew that the population has that kind of simplistic thinking from anime and history. I waved back with no problems. If this was a few months ago, there wouldn't even be any trash flying around. No matter what, I was the devil of the shield. Speaking of which, after we overcame the first wave, I was glared at as if saying, "Why are you there?" I'd be delighted if I could just receive the proper appreciation, but I just get cheated. Before long, I entered the castle and proceeded to the conference room. The troops from the allied forces were waiting together with the queen. Hero of the Shield-sama, this is an appreciation of your efforts in suppressing the spirit turtle, really. Thank you very much, Queen. Your introduction is good. I'd like to hear the status report. In relation to the wave, Naofumi. The status of the wave and others, I have a mountain of things I want to ask. The spirit turtle was a state of emergency, so everything is in chaos, but there should be a lot that they've investigated already. I understand. Currently, the hourglasses of the dragon's era throughout the world have stopped. Queen. Throughout the world. Naofumi. Yes. Every hourglass has stopped, Queen. There was a blue object inside the spirit turtle that resembled an hourglass of the dragon's era. That too. Ah, Naofumi-sama, Raphtalia. Raphtalia raised her hand. Raphtalia and Fyro came back after fighting in the heart, so maybe they know. This is about when we suppressed the spirit turtle, but when we were returning from the heart, I saw that hourglass go poof and disappear, Raphtalia. What? Naofumi. Everything disappeared, I saw it turn into a light and vanish, Raphtalia. What did that mean? I looked again at the hourglass with the time of the invasion of the next wave. As I thought, there's about 3.5 months remaining. That matter is currently in investigation. We will report it in due course, Queen. I understand. I don't know if only the heroes can realize it, but even on my side, the hourglass arrival prediction time has stopped, Naofumi. Alright. We'll also ask the 7-star heroes about their side, Queen. However, 3.5 months is projected on another hourglass. Objectively looking at that, Naofumi. Immediately, the atmosphere became heavy. I don't think I was wrong to reveal that, like in a chain reaction, there would be an appearance of a monster after the spirit turtle. Since it was the 4 spirits, there should be Phoenix, Kirin, and Dragon. The time limit is 3.5 months. To prepare until then would be the appropriate action, Naofumi. As you wish, Queen. What's the damage count? Naofumi. It's fortunate that only 7 towns, 4 fortresses, and 2 castles have been decimated. If more villages were included, Queen. I see. Naofumi. The victim total is, the count has not been finished yet, Queen. It's not looking great. there's still the danger of the more appearances of monsters that will cause this much damage. Geez, what's become of those 3 heroes? Naofumi. To do this sort of thing and leave it behind yet not showing themselves. They weren't inside the spirit turtle and they didn't come out from the back. Where was Itsuki, who Rishia was worrying about, wandering about? The most likely scenario was his death. However, the image of them dying didn't cause any excitement in me. Those guys are irritating rascals and annoying with their fake heroics. Is there no report of seeing them anywhere in the spirit turtle? Naofumi. Not at present. We sent out a search everywhere but we don't even know they are, Queen. Naofumi. It's an enigma. What were they trying to do by breaking the seal? I hope that it's not something like there was a strong weapon hidden in a labyrinth underneath where the spirit turtle was sealed. If that's the case, it won't be forgiven with just a punch. And, this is concerning those heroes who broke the seal but, Queen. Do you have something? Naofumi. In order to avoid more disorder, we've concealed the identities of the ringleaders who broke the seal, Queen. What? Naofumi. We're concealing it for now but, an inquiry about who's responsible will produce a big risk so. Queen. Indeed, that's the case. If the country announces that this great disaster happened because of the heroes, it's quite capable of causing a disservice to unrelated heroes as well. 3 of the 4 sage heroes caused this calamity. It's not necessarily true that other heroes won't do it. But before that, the chaos, in this case, it's the hero's credibility. Looking at the triumphal return, I can sympathize with how much the inhabitants of this world expect from the heroes. If it was discovered that heroes were responsible for this, there might just be a riot. And having to suppress the riot and the waves simultaneously, until finally everything falls together in mutual destruction. The country should choose not to publicly announce the truth, but that the spirit turtle was defeated by the hidden heroes. That sort of visage is better. This feels like the so-called result of playing hot potato with the responsibility issue. It's a common occurrence but, it's quite. Also, the heroes are extremely powerful beings and so we will be needing an equal strength to administer justice, Queen. Catching them will also be a pain. Which is why we have to conceal the truth. However, isn't this truth already well known? Naofumi. It's still at the stage of gossip. That said, it seems each nation being silenced so there won't be much influence on the support of the populace. We're persistent in announcing that this incident was from a wave, Queen. One's livelihood will also be affected when the heroes they believe in, even when there are waves that hint towards the end of the world, and promote havoc. It can't be helped, you can't even understand it. Nevertheless, there are still rumors, Queen. The Queen added a supplement. I've spread a rumor about being punished so that it won't appear to the other heroes as anything more than simple gossip. Of course, I've made a large publicity campaign about the hero of the shield, Iwadani-sama, being very active but just from looking at the status quo in the castle town, it doesn't seem very necessary, Queen. Half-hearted. Catch the ringleader. Just fighting the waves. Isn't this all just punishment for me? Naofumi. Couldn't put up with it all, guys raising a commotion appeared. In this case, catching said people and turning them into a slave would be good but, they can't do that, can they? If enslaving was possible, it would have been more efficient to enslave us for when we were first summoned. With the high-grade slave crest, it could even be hidden from the masses. To begin with, the fact that that trash didn't enslave me is proof enough. It seems improbable even if I inquire about it now. The problem is that hard-to-handle guys would be useless as slaves. Well, thanks to that, I didn't end up becoming a slave. Have I mentioned it's because it was determined that Iwadani-sama and the 7-star heroes could do this? Queen. Nevertheless, couldn't you just face everyone and say we are the country or some other meaningless line? Naofumi. Their problem is that, isn't it? Even if they've become rotten, those guys are still heroes so it's hard to tell their followers to arrest them. Stopping a riot is also a pain. If it was me, I'd fight but it'll be quite severe to fight with my status having fallen to just 30%. At the least, I shouldn't be fighting until I've had a full recovery. I do have the option of leaving it to Raphtalia and the others, but I don't know about trying that. I don't want to burden them with that risk. Of course, if it's possible, I'll have you participate in waves as you've been doing until now. However, heroes are people who possess power. There's always the danger of them going on a rampage. Can't you understand that we can't even say that there are no countries who watch vigilantly for the opportunity to try to assemble heroes? Queen Melromark, you vixen! Are these your words? Naofumi. Certainly our country has its faults. But this argument should have already finished. What do you intend by bringing up this political question again? Are you saying that there aren't people who would use powerful heroes as government tools? Queen. So troublesome. If Melromark and the other countries could just offer heroes a prize and not penalize them, the heroes would immigrate to a nice country by themselves, but there's a risk of becoming a tool of the government. That's why I can't judge them strongly. I had already rejected any invites from nice countries before I even knew of them, so I couldn't have done that though. If it's them, it might be possible that they have. Really, this group is too much, we're not getting anywhere. There's even one person in the party, me, who also thinks that. I understand the hero's treatment. Also, in regard to just this disaster, is reconstruction possible? Naofumi. The tension of the Allied forces suddenly dissipated with my query. Ah, indeed it was quite intense. The Allied forces have taken damage from the infiltration and induction. I'm sorry for not being able to defend against it all. As the hero of the shield, I originally had to take action so there won't be any victims. In spite of this, a substantial amount of damage has been dealt. No. They would have been satisfied. Everyone who participated in the infiltration said that they could avoid death thanks to the hero of the shield Sama being there, Queen. I'm pleased to hear that, Naofumi. The neighboring countries took a lot of damage and much time is needed to rebuild, Queen. I see, Naofumi. To be honest, supporting Iwadani-sama is also quite difficult, Queen. I could only nod at this. If they said they could still give me a lot of assistance even after suffering such devastation, I'd be concerned about where they would get the money from. We will assist as much as possible, but when compared to what we had planned, Queen. Yeah, I know. If I want money, I'll do something about it myself. Naofumi. At this point, you should be gathering money for reconstruction instead. I saw the damage in the castle town when I was coming here. 1/4 of the castle town had been crushed by the spirit turtle. Land reclamation is essential for the sake of the people who lost their homes. Reclamation, that's it. Hey, aiding with something that's not money is okay, right, Naofumi? Yes, it would be more helpful for us if it was something other than money with the current conditions, Queen. This would solve the Allied forces issue, as well as the thing I thought of so far. Then, Naofumi. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 129, Social Standing. Can you grant me some land? Naofumi. Land? That will probably be fine, but can you explain your reasons? I thought Iwadani was indifferent to the state of this world. Queen. I understand I am asking for quite a bit. Naofumi. Staying in the same city as the army is something I would like to avoid. The Queen probably understands this. When we were inside the spirit turtle, I noticed something. To put it frankly, this world's army is weak. If I do nothing about this, we will not be able to reduce casualties during the wave. Naofumi. You bastard dash, country leader. The one who spoke up is a commanding officer, but the soldiers around him restrain him. I knew this would happen. That's why I wanted to remain silent. Iwadani has made a rational analysis, let's hear him out. Queen. We also have testimony from some soldiers. According to them, the shield's companions had superhuman strength and performed magnificently. Compared to that, we, another leader. The other leaders hang their heads and say nothing. I have worked with various branches of the military, including the fighters, mages, and assassins. This is my analysis of them so far. I'll concede that if the army wasn't there, we would have been destroyed by the turtle. But that is exactly why. Naofumi. Mew, country leader. The commander that spoke up lets out a sound of defeat and sits back down. These people are annoying because of their pride, however they can be quite easy to deal with. When I say they were weak, I'm talking about the entire army's attack power as a whole. As we have not established the exact connection between the turtle and the wave, there is a possibility that even stronger enemies will manifest as the wave progresses. That's why I want to raise a fighting force to combat these disasters. I'll also need some money, but that is secondary. For now, I would like to request for some land to set up a base. Naofumi. I see where Iwatani is coming from. We have also yet to reward him for his efforts, so I guess this will be a good opportunity. Queen. Then my country can dash. Leader person. No, my country will dash. Another leader. I apologize, but I have already decided upon a location. I understand what you all are trying to say. And am grateful, but I must ask you to stand down for now. Naofumi. It will be troublesome to build a base in a country I know nothing about. And you people just had your towns destroyed by the turtle. Your people are still suffering. This isn't the time for you to be giving away money, land, or manpower. Someone please get a map. Naofumi. The queen takes a map from Shadow and spreads it on the table. I would prefer it to be close to the castle town, but what location does Iwatani wish for? Queen. Here. Naofumi. Without hesitation, I point to a spot near the harbor we went visited to get to Kalmyra. It is on the coast. Raphatalia. Raphatalia has a shocked expression, but she doesn't speak up. I see. That land was the location of the first wave. It faced heavily casualties and has now been abandoned. Is that all right with you, Queen? I plan to start from scratch anyways. Instead of being close to the castle, I think it is best to choose a location that fits my preferences. Naofumi. I understand. But for you to own such land, I must present you with some sort of nobility. Queen. I plan to return to my world after this. I don't think I need a permanent title or anything. Naofumi. I shall present this land to you along with the title of Count. Queen. Hey, Naofumi. If I were to become a count, then I would have to deal with troublesome things like land disputes and inheritance. If this was a light novel, wouldn't I have to work my way up from knight? I know about the title hierarchy from a manga I read a while ago. Though that manga was set in recent times instead of the medieval times. I don't know what manga this is. Duke, Marquis, Count, Viscount, Baron. These are known as the 5 ranks of nobility, and the higher you go up, the more prestige you get. Titles can be based on either family or land ownership rights. In my world, in Europe, nobility was decided by the amount of land one was given to control. I think this gave birth to many different conquests for land and many different nobles arising. And many people controlled more than 10,000 acres of land. But I don't know if that applies here as well. Iwatani might have a child in the near future, so we must prepare for that. Queen. Hell no. Naofumi. Her intentions are being revealed quite casually. Do you really want me to marry Melty that badly? Whatever. If it is completely necessary, I will take the title of Count. Naofumi. Please wait for a moment, there are rituals we must go through to bestow the title unto you. Queen. That sounds like a pain. Naofumi. However, you have really helped us this time around. I would like for you to properly receive the title. As a reward for your efforts. Queen. I guess if a hero defeats a monster of that caliber, then simply handing over some money isn't enough. It did kill many people. And I am excited to see the change that happens through the country. If the shield hero who is worshipped by the demi-humans were to become a noble in the human-dominated Melromark. I told you about it before, right? About the capable person of this country. Queen. Naofumi. Now that I think about it, when Trash's reign of terror ended I heard something about that. That a capable person of this country had died in the wave. He had helped facilitate human-demi-human relations. The Tanuki human Raphatalia lived in a province heavily populated by demi-humans. I see, the land I am asking for was formerly that person's. The land that Iwatani requested belonged to that person. He was quite popular and trusted by the people. Queen. The Queen seems to be reading my mind. The various leaders are listening to the conversation intently. This will create a lot of rumors, be they good or bad. Fine, I'll leave the land to you. Queen. Don't expect too much. Naofumi. Now then, please come to the throne room for the ceremony. Queen. Understood, Naofumi. We are led to the throne room. The Queen hands me a ceremonial sword. Unless I have the intent to equip it, the system will not give me a warning, so it is probably fine. It won't look good if it shoots out of my hands. Before reaching the throne, I receive some instruction from Shadow. I'm supposed to draw the sword and present it to the Queen, after which she will touch both of my shoulders with it and present a title unto me. Hero of the Shield, Iwadani Naofumi, has arrived. Guard. The castle guards are playing instruments reminiscent of trumpets. It's loud. It's annoying. I confidently walk towards the Queen, who is standing in front of the throne. I take a subservient pose and lower my head, while unsheathing and presenting the sword to the Queen. The Queen grasps the hilt, and slowly taps both of my shoulders with it. Hero, for your valiant efforts, my country courteously bestows unto you the title of Count. Queen. And the Queen returns the sword to me. We expect great things from you. Queen. I return the sword to its scabbard and stand up. That's how it is. It's supposed to be a more grandiose celebration than this. Queen. Don't. That would be a pain. Naofumi. Is what I thought you would say. However, the populace needs some form of celebration to advertise your newly gained authority. Queen. I got it. Naofumi. With this, I think I will be unable to walk the castle town's streets anymore. Is that the hero of the shield? Yeah, that person. Just like the rumors say, he looks like he is up to no good. Is what I used to hear. Ah. The hero of the shield. The one that defeated that monster and saved us all? People point at me and shout. It is now difficult to walk around for a different reason. It's not like I don't want to be noticed, but this is enervating in itself. Now then, I will be talking to representatives of another country for a while. If anything happens, please allow me to help. Queen. Wait, where was Trash during all of this? Ah, there he is. He is staring at me with an irritated expression. Is he under surveillance, and unable to approach me? As I think this, I notice he is wearing a collar. TL, what sort of play is this? _____. Trash. Whenever he tries to speak, the collar seems to glow. It appears to rapidly tighten. Can I laugh? I think I will laugh. ______________. Trash. He seems furious. But the collar shuts him up whenever he tries to scream. I give a cynical smile. Naofumi-sama. Raphatalia. Raphatalia says in a stern tone. I mean, how can I not laugh? Look at him. Naofumi. Anyways, I also have a lot of things I want to talk to you about. Raphatalia. I understand, but today I'm tired. Let's go back to our room and rest. Naofumi. When I woke up today, it had already been past noon. The days are passing by too quickly. See ya, trash of the world. Your bitch of a daughter's situation is uncertain, and the other heroes are yet to be found. You will be forever remembered as the foolish king who led 3 of the 4 heroes to their demise. Good for you, you'll be famous. Naofumi. _______________. Trash. Trash points his finger and tries to advance on us as we leave the throne room. But the soldiers surrounding him succeed in restraining him. He can't even talk to me anymore. The Queen does good work. Is that man really one of the 7-star heroes? That's definitely a lie. Read The Rising of the Shield Hero Chapter 130, Level Reset. I lie down on the bed in the guest room and rest my body. Ah, indeed it's heavy. When I lie down, I can really feel it. The effects of the curse are strong and quite severe. The sun has set already, what can I do? By the way, Phiro is with Melty. Their relationship is quite close. Thank you for your hard work, Rishia. Rishia voices these words of gratitude. Come to think of it, you're not wearing the costume, Naofumi. Ah, yes. I thought we weren't going to fight for a short while so I took it off, but is that displeasing? Rishia. No, it's just become habitual, I wasn't telling you to wear it, Naofumi. Rishia-san is, how do I say it? It seems like you enjoy wearing the costume, Raphtalia. Yes. When I wear that costume my body becomes lighter. Rishia. That's because there are various enchantments on it. It's quite convenient. It was amazing, Naofumi-san, Rishia. Ah, at last you call me by my name, Naofumi. Rishia. Don't worry about it. I'm not particularly angry. Naofumi. Perhaps Rishia gained some courage after prevailing in a big battle. This is a joyous thing. There's territory. There's also court ranking, this is quite a big promotion, Raphtalia. I was originally a hero. It doesn't really excite me though, Naofumi. Naofumi-sama, what is your desire? Raphtalia. Raphtalia asks me with distrust in her eyes. Speaking of which, she started to speak out when I specified the territory I wanted to the queen. Is this about today? It's just as I said. It's unfortunate but the allied troops just aren't reliable. Judging from the tough battle from before, if we don't make a private army of troops, it'll be quite relentless from here on. Naofumi. But still, why the damaged area from the first wave? Raphtalia. That's also in accordance with what I said during the day, we'll be doing a variety of things so please. Be prepared. Naofumi. Ha, good grief, it seems as though we won't have any peace if we're together with Naofumi. Sama, Raphtalia. This is all just until we finish overcoming the waves. Please bear with it, Naofumi. I understand, Raphtalia. Fufu, you look just like an old married couple, Rishia. Rishia dropped a bombshell-like announcement. Well, Raphtalia is the one who I've known the longest in this world, I kind of understand. We're not a couple though. What are you saying? Raphtalia. Raphtalia yells, her face coloring in embarrassment. Ah, indeed, Rishia has stepped on a landmine and brought on imperial wrath by mentioning that love affair. Originally she was just an ordinary slave, but Raphtalia is a more kind-hearted and meddling person than others. She lost her family, her home was snatched away, I can easily imagine her grief. In other words, Raphtalia is fighting so there won't be more people in the same situation as her. With such a noble purpose, Raphtalia wouldn't be thinking of love affairs. To begin with, Raphtalia's outer appearance may be that of an adult however, in terms of age, she is still a kid. She's not old enough to be falling in love. Well, Rishia is in love with Itsuki so those kind of feelings are, for better or worse, a woman's. Which reminds me, how old is Rishia? Her appearance gives the impression of a middle school student, so around 14 years old. It seems a bit premature but it is another world. That's right, Rishia. Raphtalia doesn't like those kind of jokes. Be careful, Naofumi. Naofumi-sama, Raphtalia. A blushing Raphtalia regained her composure. There, provoking others isn't good. Oh okay. Rishia. Rishia tilted her head in confusion whilst staring at Raphtalia and I. Well then, we'll be engaged in a variety of things tomorrow. Rishia, what are you going to do? Naofumi. What do you mean by what am I going to do? Rishia. I'm referring to resetting your level. Since the wave has been pushed back considerably, if you want to re-level up, now is a good time, Naofumi. Tha that's right isn't it, Rishia. The one to decide is Rishia. Consider your actions properly. Seeing as this is a good opportunity. Naofumi. Okay. I will think about it for a bit, Rishia. Thus, we rested thoroughly and prepared for tomorrow. Now then, Naofumi. After eating breakfast at the castle, we have a quick chat with the queen. Since the timing was just right, I ask Rishia. Have you come up with an outcome? Naofumi. Yes. I also want to become as strong as Raphtalia-san. Therefore I have decided to start over, Rishia. Is that so? Well then. Naofumi. When I turned to face the queen also nodded. Then I will give instructions to perform the service by means of the hourglass of the dragon's era. Queen. That'd be a great help. Today we'll be occupied with a lot of things, Naofumi. We leave the castle and travel to the hourglass of the dragon's era. Ah, we should put on a robe to obscure our face. If we don't do this, guys will be following after us in groups, even the queen. I heard the story from the queen, soldier. A soldier guides us to the hourglass of the dragon's era. As I thought, the hourglass has stopped. For some reason, the sand has solidified and doesn't fall. Originally this is only used as a punishment for criminals though, soldier. Just a bit, Naofumi. I heard the rumors. The hero of the shield's comrades possess strength rivaling that of the heroes, so what's the secret to that strength? Soldier. What a nosy soldier. It would be a burden to get involved in something strange. I limit my answer to something ambiguous. No, it's just simple harassment. This kid is a subordinate of someone I hate, you see, I thought I'd reset her level and send her back to him, Naofumi. Phui. Rishia. Rishia lets out a dreadful cry. Is that how it is? Rishia. Read the atmosphere. Raphtalia looks at me with a shocked face. Where is Phiro looking? She's gazing into the horizon. Sigh, I bring my face close to Rishia's ear and whisper. The harassment thing is a lie. If I tell the truth to that kind of fellow, mercenaries and adventurers will swarm us, wanting to be strong. Your Itsuki also had a habit of concealing, right? Naofumi. Yes, Rishia. Geez, I'd like you to sense these things. What adventurers, in the end it'd just be a gathering of ruffians. After they acquire a certain amount of power, guys who are really eager should enlist to become soldiers in a country somewhere. Even if they reach the level cap prior to a class up, guys who become adventurers either don't want to enter a guild or are wannabe criminals. What I want to make is a private army who will listen to my instructions, not guys who are just strong. After the weak become strong, complaints will be raised. At any rate, I would have to deal with those kind of guys in the distant future. And, how do I reset the level? Naofumi. Firstly, put on this choker and stand on the magic circle in front of the hourglass of the dragons. Era, soldier. I give Rishia the choker that the soldier was holding out. Rishia put on the choker and stands on the magic circle just like the instructions. Perhaps some sort of power of resistance will be removed by wearing the choker. Is this really alright? Naofumi. Yes. Rishia. Rishia's decision was firm. There are people to help with the service, just like during the class up, but they had prepared a stretcher. There is a reaction from the resetting. A few days of rehabilitation will be necessary, I think, soldier. I see. That's right, if the stats that were natural until suddenly drop, the body will become heavy. Since I'm already like this, I think that if someone returned to level 1, then they would become unable to move for sure. There are individual differences though, soldier. While saying that, the soldier starts the ritual. The hourglass of the dragon's era shines, filling the magic circle with power. It's similar to the scene from the class up. Right now in this place, there is someone here to release their power for the sake of choosing a new path. Oh, world! Show this person the path and give them a chance. Soldier. You, Ku. Rishia. Rishia moans in the center of the magic circle. A feeling of power escaping is, Rishia. As I thought, it's that kind of feeling. Before long, something suddenly emerges from Rishia and I affirm it scattering in all 4 directions. It's over. How's your body's condition? Naofumi. Rishia. Rishia repeatedly opens and closes her hands. It doesn't feel very different, Rishia. Was it a failure? Naofumi. That shouldn't be the case. Soldier. I slowly check Rishia's status. Right. It's returned to level 1. It's just that. There's almost no change in stats. The bit that rises from leveling up is almost non-existent, so there's no sense of discomfort even when returning to level 1. If this was reversed, it would be considerably harsh. If she has no disposition for battle, then what should I do? I can't just depend on the shield's growth correction. By the way, should Raphtalia and Phiro do it too? Naofumi. No, I am. Raphtalia. Phiro doesn't want to do it either, Phiro. Well, these two don't really need to. Growth correction started when Raphtalia was level 25, so it's not like it would be meaningless. Pyro also has the Filial series growth correction to depend on, so there shouldn't be any loss. Well, if we don't proceed gradually, offensive power won't be enough and we'll become unable to fight. Moreover, it seems that the moment Pyro resets her level, she'll become a baby chick. I don't know what kind of growth Filials have though. Fixing her upbringing is good, but since the one in question doesn't want to do it, there's no need. Is that so? Then let's head to the next place, Naofumi. We're ready whenever, soldier. The soldier in charge bows his head. The interaction is considerably different from before. I'm aware that I'm staring back and inspecting him. He's a bit childish, but my evaluation of him rose a little.